In a busy town called Owerri, everyone talked about Nneka, a great and skillful hairstylist. She owned a salon in the heart of Owerri called Nneka's Creations, which was the most popular place for people who wanted to look beautiful. People came from near and far just to have their hair done by her. Everyone admired her skill and charm. But Nneka had secrets. Big, dark secrets. Nneka didn't always live in the city. She grew up in a small village. As the eldest of 8 children, life was tough for her family. They didn't have much, but Nneka was special. Even as a child, she had a talent for braiding hair. With just her fingers and a few strings, she could create the most beautiful hairstyles. Her talent got her a scholarship to a big school in Lagos where she learned even more about hairstyling. After her graduation, she opened a unisex salon in Owerri and it became a huge success. Rich people, celebrities, and even politicians came to her salon for their hair. Everyone loved her work, but her success wasn't just because she was talented. Something else helped her rise to fame, something very scary. Nneka became very popular because she was so good at braiding hair. People loved how she could make their hair look beautiful as if she had magic in her hands. Every day, her salon was full of people, women, men, and even children who wanted her to braid their hair. Outside her shop, there was always a long line of people waiting their turn. Some stood for hours in the hot sun or heavy rain without complaining because they believed it was worth it to have Nneka braid their hair. Many brought mats or small chairs to sit on, while others came with food and drinks to make the wait easier. Some even slept outside the shop so they wouldn't lose their spot in line. Inside the salon was always busy and lively. Nneka worked very hard, moving her hands quickly and carefully to style each person's hair without getting tired, which amazed people. Every hairstyle she made was special and beautiful, and her customers always left happy without any doubts. Nneka stayed calm and kind. She treated everyone with a smile and spoke to them nicely, making them feel special. Her salon wasn't just a place to braid hair, it became a place where people laughed, shared stories, and felt at home. Nneka had many young and old apprentices who came to learn from her. They wanted to be like her because she was so talented and famous. They watched her closely, trying to learn her skills and secrets. Nneka was strict but also kind to them. She taught them that hair braiding wasn't just a job, it was hard and they had to do it with care and love. The apprentices helped with simple tasks like washing hair and getting the tools ready, but they also dreamed of being a great hairstylist like Nneka someday. Customers liked the apprentices too because they worked hard and showed how much Nneka had taught them. People often say if Nneka hasn't braided your hair, you haven't truly experienced true beauty. This makes even more people want to visit the salon. Her fame continued to grow and her apprentices felt proud to work with someone so special. For them, learning from Nneka wasn't just a job, rather a chance to become the best. After some time, people who visited Nneka's salon started to notice strange things. Some of the customers complained to one another about having bad dreams where they saw dark shadows following them or found themselves walking in scary endless hallways or streets alone. Others said they heard soft whispers calling their names even when they were alone at home. The whispers always seemed to say the same thing, come back to the Nneka's creation. At first, people thought it was just their imagination, but then something even scarier started happening. Every few months, someone disappeared, including a man who sold snacks near the salon whose disappearance is yet to be known. A security guard who was always seen walking past the salon at night vanished also without any trace, including a TV presenter, who everyone loved to watch went missing after visiting Nneka's salon. The police came to the area to look for the missing people. They asked questions and searched everywhere, but they couldn't find any answers. The only thing they found was that all the people who disappeared had one thing in common. They were last seen near Nneka's salon or after visiting her salon. People in the neighborhood started feeling scared. Some wondered if the salon was cursed, while others brushed it off, saying it was just bad luck. But because Nneka was so kind, and her handiwork was so amazing, most people didn't think she could have anything to do with it. Even with all the strange happenings, Nneka's salon stayed busy as her customers didn't want to miss the chance to have her braid their hair. Some even said the rumors can't be true. Nneka is too sweet to be involved in anything bad. But one brave young journalist named Chuka heard some strange rumors and felt something wasn't right. He decided to find out the truth about Nneka's salon. What he discovered was more shocking than anyone could have imagined. People in the village were talking about Nneka, a woman who owned a popular salon. They said that her hairdressing skills were magical, but some believed she used dark powers. Chuka, being very curious, wanted to find out if these rumors were true. He was a brave young journalist who loved discovering secrets, so he decided to investigate. To get closer to the truth, Chuka pretended to be just another customer and went to Nneka's salon. He entered the salon, which was decorated beautifully. There were gold-framed mirrors on the walls, and soft, calming music played in the background. The warm, friendly smell of hair products filled the air. Nneka, the salon owner, greeted him with a big smile. "Welcome. How can I help you today?" she asked. Chuka smiled back and said, "I would like to try a new hairstyle." Nneka led him to a chair and began to work on his hair. As she braided it, Chuka couldn't help but feel something strange. It wasn't like the usual feeling of someone just doing his hair. It felt as if Nneka's fingers were moving in ways that made patterns or symbols, not just braids. His heart started to race, but he didn't show it. He thought, "I have to find out more about this." Later that night, Chuka had a strange and scary dream. He found himself in a dark, cold hallway. He couldn't see anything clearly, but he could hear Nneka's voice calling his name softly, echoing in the darkness. Chuka tried to run, but his legs felt heavy, like he was stuck. He woke up sweating, feeling scared and confused. Something wasn't right, and he decided to warn the people in the town about his experience. The next morning, Chuka gathered some neighbors and told them what happened. "When Nneka was braiding my hair, it didn't feel normal," he said. "It was like she was drawing symbols on my head. And last night, I had a terrible dream where I heard her voice in a dark place. I think something strange is happening at her salon." But the people didn't believe him. One woman laughed and said, "Chuka, you're just imagining things. Nneka is a great hairdresser. Everyone loves her work." Another man shook his head. "Dreams are just dreams, Chuka. Maybe you ate something bad. Stop trying to scare us." "No, listen to me," Chuka said firmly. "I'm not making this up. I felt it. Something isn't right about her salon. We need to be careful." But no matter how much Chuka tried to explain, the villagers didn't believe him. They thought he was just making a big deal out of nothing. Feeling frustrated, Chuka decided to keep investigating on his own. Even if no one believed him, he wasn't going to stop until he found the truth. Chuka realized he couldn't convince the town with words alone. He needed proof. This time, he wasn't going to investigate alone. He recruited a local teacher, Ada, who believed him, and had lost her brother after he visited Kechi's salon. The next day, Chuka and Ada returned to Nneka's salon, but this time, they paid close attention to everything around the salon. They noticed that the other customers seemed to leave the salon looking tired and quiet, as if something was draining their energy. Together, they watched the salon from a distance, noting when clients arrived and left. Late one night, after Nneka closed the salon, Chuka snuck inside the salon, leaving Ada behind because he knew it may be dangerous inside. While tiptoeing around the room, he noticed an old wooden door and decided to open it. The room was more terrifying than anything Chuka had seen before. He saw human hair and photographs of missing people. Jars filled with strange, glowing substances, pots of blood, and human skulls filled the room, and the air felt heavy with an unexplainable energy. As he was still terrified about the rooms he saw, Chuka saw Nneka, who was performing a ritual with a pot of blood in her hands. He couldn't resist the shock as he gave a loud scream which alerted her. Suddenly, a cold voice filled the room. "You've learned nothing, Chuka. You shouldn't have come here, Chuka," she said softly while giving a devilish smile and staring at the mirror before her. Nneka stepped out of the shadows, her face calm but her eyes blazing. "What are you doing here?" she asked. Chuka stood his ground. "At what cost, Nneka? How many lives have you destroyed?" The world has no place for people who play fair. I made my choices and look where it brought me. So what did you gain from the wrong choice you've made? Chuka asked. Nneka laughed. It was never a wrong choice. The spirit I serve rewards me. Those people were simply the price for my success. And now, you've come to meddle, get ready to go in for it because I will not spare you. She laughed so hard that it causes lightning to spark. Chuka, already trembling with fear, pulled out a small vial of olive oil blessed by a priest he had consulted before embarking on the mission. Your spirit may be powerful, Chuka said, but even the strongest darkness cannot withstand the light. Nneka's smile faltered as Chuka threw the olive oil onto the jars and symbols on the walls. A loud hissing sound filled the room, and the air grew cold. Nneka screamed as the dark energy she had summoned began to unravel. The jars shattered, and the glowing substances inside vanished like smoke. The room shook violently, and Nneka collapsed to the ground, her once youthful appearance now aged and frail. You don't understand, she whispered weakly. Without the spirit, I am nothing. Chuka knelt beside her. You could have been great, Nneka, without all of this. But now it's over, he said. Nneka lay lifeless on the floor as Chuka called the policeman who arrested and took her away. She later confessed to her crimes and revealed the names of those she had harmed, bringing closure to many families, and she died afterward. Chuka published his findings in a groundbreaking exposé. The story shocked the nation, and Nneka's creations was shut down. Authorities searched the salon and found evidence that corroborated Chuka's claims. Chuka's bravery was celebrated, and Ada became an advocate, helping victims of mysterious crimes find justice. Together, they made sure Nneka's story was told as a warning to others. Nneka's tale teaches us that no matter how far you run, you cannot escape the consequences of your actions. True success is built on hard work, kindness, and integrity, not on shortcuts or harm to others.